The period of movement in the life of a person from puberty to adulthood is known as adolescence, and in today's lesson we are going to learn about the adolescent.
Remember to follow me on Instagram at savvyshay_tt. Subscribe, comment, and like.
Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Shay. Adolescents are generally described as going through phases. The first phase is referred to as early adolescence, and this covers the period of the age 12 to 14 years. Middle adolescence is from 15 to 18 years, while late adolescence is from 18 through 21 years of age. Adolescents, they develop the physical characteristics of a man or a woman, and this transformation is called puberty. The changes at puberty include rapid growth and weight gain, development of the sex glands. In males, the testes produce sperms, while in females, the ovaries begin producing cells or eggs. Development of secondary sex characteristics, which include changes in the breast and genitals, the growth of pubic, facial, and body hair, a deepening of the voice, and the further development of the sex organs. Changes in body composition, specific changes in the quantity and composition of fat and muscles. Changes in the circulatory and respiratory systems. More strength and stamina is experienced. Hormones trigger all these changes. Hormones are chemical substances that act on certain organs and tissues. During childhood, we adopt the values of our parents. But adolescents have now reached a stage where they can now reason systematically about possibilities essential for solving scientific and logical problems. They are also able to think in hypothetical terms to consider all the logical consequences of a possible situation. Unlike a child, the adolescent is much more adept at reasoning. The ability to think about hypotheses is a powerful tool. It allows a much deeper understanding of causes and consequences. As we grow older, we are exposed to a variety of influences which makes us question our traditional values. Many adolescents make the transition smoothly from childhood to adult life. For others, it is a period of insecurity and emotional upheaval. During this time, there's a gradual loosening of the bonds with parents. The function of parents of adolescents is to help them grow up. Parents who allow their adolescents a reasonable degree of independence and decision-making produce more self-reliant, well-adjusted adults than those who exercise strict control. A rigid attitude by parents creates more problems so that their adolescents eventually rebel, defy parental authority, or even run away. Sometimes adolescents become aware of a discrepancy between the way they are taught to behave and the way society behaves. So they begin to question the values passed on through their parents. Early puberty helps boys to become more adept socially. They are able to relate well with people, can exercise self-control, and show responsibility. Boys and girls who are not as physically developed in adolescence show childishness. They giggle, criticize, and tend to be troublesome in class, chiefly because of their bouncing enthusiasm, restlessness, and energy. Development is continuous in adolescence. There is no drastic change at any birthday. During this time, there is a gradual loosening of the ties with parents. There is the increasing demand for more freedom and independence. Adolescents are faced with a number of problems from day to day, but how they deal with these problems will determine what type of adults they would become. Some of these problems are: 1. Sexual urges. The intense sexual urge that accompanies adolescence are not always easy to handle. This is not helped by the fact that more and more adolescents are finding it necessary to spend more years on their education, which often leads to the postponement of marriage for several years beyond the age of maturity. In addition, adolescents are exposed to all kinds of sexual stimuli through television and other forms of media. 2. Pressures from peer group. Adolescents place much importance on their being accepted by their peer group. Quite often, their own values, deep-rooted in family upbringing, are not in accordance with the expectations of their peers, and so there is conflict with the group applying pressure. 3. Antisocial behavior. Some adolescents sometimes engage in antisocial behavior. They are moody, aggressive, behave like bullies, are vandals, and they show interest in drugs and alcohol. These are serious problems, and adolescents who are faced with them should be realistic and consider their behavior in light of such questions as: what is making me act this way? What can I do about it? Then they could seek help from their family, their church, school, or other institution, and persons who are capable and willing to help them solve these problems. 4. Examination. Adolescents are expected to perform in examinations that are highly competitive and for which many are unprepared. 5. Dissatisfaction with the home situation. Teenagers often become aware of certain home situations with which they are dissatisfied. Some of these might include problems with step-parents, with siblings, or even inadequate support. 6. Pregnancy. This becomes a major problem, especially for girls. She is set back in her pursuit of a career. She is faced with pressure to marry. She has added responsibilities, and she has little knowledge of proper parenting. The male might be equally inadequate for the role of parenting, both psychologically and economically, and might be forced to leave school and find employment to support the mother and the baby. 7. Drug abuse. Many adolescents are using drugs not for medical reasons, but because they want to experience the effects which the drugs can produce, such as feeling of euphoria and well-being. 8. Pressure from advertising. Most times, advertising is sex-based and operates like a dream machine, making consumers believe that the goods and services advertised are crucial to their beauty, charm, and general welfare. Some advertisements are prepared especially for adolescents and seek to make them believe that they must own certain lines of clothing, records, brand name items, or the latest electrical device. This is the period when boys and girls are poised midway between childhood and adult life, and will perhaps get the feeling that they do not belong to either group. They cannot return to childhood, and they are not fully accepted by adults. There is much to confuse adolescents at this stage. There are conflicting values, Adults have certain expectations of them, but interestingly, the adolescents wish to conform to their own values. We've reached the end of the lesson today. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope you would have learned something from this. And do remember, every day you learn, you grow. So keep learning and you'll keep growing. Bye for now.